Thanks for tuning in this week to watch this episode of Bad Gas Productions. Some of you are all after watching, but last week we give the front end a good servicing, introduce some new product, and lubricate it where necessary. This week we're going to change it up a little bit, and we're going to tear right into the rear end, give it a good going over. Sometimes the rear end section just don't get the attention that it deserves. Sean is here tonight. He's working with his hands, doing what he does best, laying some bead. The rest of the Bad Gas production crew, we're floating around here doing what we do. And Jason, I think, is playing with his rear end. Anyways, if you really like this show, really smash that like button. Really give it a good going over it. Share with your friend. And if you got anything to say, just chuck one in the comment section below, because we really like that. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, it's Sully. Welcome back to the Bad Gas shop. Today on the Firebird, we are going to start tapping this rear end. It's a 10-bolt posi rear end. It was a WS6 car, so it did have the posi and the four-wheel disc. Unfortunately, our discs were a little rough, and the calipers were seized, so might go a different route. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to get this cleaned up right now, and after that, we'll start tearing her down and see what's inside. Let's go. Told you it wasn't that bad. It's just like this. It's just full of lovely Alberta here.
Okay folks, we started with a wire wheel and a needle scaler air tool. This rear end had lots of old dirt caked on grease and a bit of surface rust. This wasn't exactly the funnest job to do in the shop, but it definitely needed to be done. Once we have this all cleaned up, the plan is to use a special kind of paint called POR 15. I think that stands for paint over rust actually. It was developed for the gas and oil industry, and it's meant to seal the metal from rusting in the future. But before we do that, we need to take this axle completely apart, and it's going to get a complete overhaul.
Alright guys, sorry for the noise. We're doing some work here. Now it's time to open up our little present here and see what we got. Always leave one to hold it or you're going to wear it.
As Sully said here, just leaving one bolt in so we can make sure that the cover don't fly off and gear oil comes splashing out on top of you. So here we go. It's alright. No filings. Awesome. So we're going to continue on, taking it all apart here. Big old gear. Of course, I needed to tune in on the fun, give the boys a hand, see what's on the go, get out some power tools and some wrenches. Had some issues with some of the nuts here, but sometimes it don't always come off as easy as you think. Here is Corey cleaning up some stuff here, some rusty crusty. Make sure it's prepped for paint.
So this is Jay's way of getting bearings out when he doesn't have a puller. So unfortunately I missed the part where it came flying out. But Jay, do you want to explain your wizardry there? What'd you do?
So basically, usually for something like this, you'd use a blind bearing puller, which inserts and has like claws in behind it. You tighten it up and slide in with the bearing out. Unfortunately, mine's damaged, so this is just an old school tech way that I learned how to do it. And basically you take the bearing out, so all that's left is the race, which is what's press fit in. And you take your MIG welder and you put a couple beads on it around the inside just to heat it up, and it actually shrinks the metal. And then slowly you can work it out. That's what we did. Now the other side.
Nice. What's that justification for paying a tech to do the work?
Yeah.
Sometimes people know the right place to tap things with a hammer.
This is why you pay professionals.
Okay guys, let's take a little break from this dirty rear end to wrap up the front subframe. Hey, so if you've been tuning in, you know Phil from Classic Cycle Service dropped off our powder-coated parts. Let's go ahead and wrap up the front subframe by installing the red powder-coated sway bar. Yeah!
So Sean, this new window that you put in the firewall here,
Yeah.
what's your plan now?
So it's going to have the 9-pane grill. That way it matches the patio set.
I don't know what, but I'm not hitting the door button.
So you have it all ground down here, you're getting ready to weld a piece in?
I'm not hitting that
Yeah, we'll get a piece flanged up, and hopefully Mark's bead roller will be in here. We'll put a bead or a cross or some kind of stiffener.
When the battery gets low on the
Weld her in,
I don't know.
clean her up.
Maybe battery is low, I have no idea.
Nice. How's the fitment, Sean?
The fitment is not there yet. We're moving in the direction.
So the bead roller is used for a few different reasons, mainly to add strength to a metal panel, but also to show some artistic flair. This was our first attempt at using it, so we chose function over form.
That worked, that would have been amazing.
Spot welds are placed randomly around the panel to prevent too much heat in any one spot and warping. Eventually, all the blanks are filled in with welds, and then it is ground smooth with the grinder.
how you doing again tonight? We're back on the fire chicken. So what we got going on here is we obviously did a bunch of patchwork, filled in all the screw holes, the big gap that was here. We rolled the panel, put some beads in to stiffen it up. We got our floor sections that tie into it. Anything that was not needed, it got welded over, ground down, except for one piece, which we determined we're not going to use. So we're going to fill that. Everything else looking good. We'll get the finish work done on it. Get some paint, POR, and we'll see where it goes from there. But for the most part, firewall done.
Hey, if you've been watching our channel, you know that the Bad Gas crew like to pick on each other and be a little crazy sometimes. In these next couple shots, watch us entertain each other. Honestly, building a car with friends, that's what it's all about.
As you can see, Mark and Jay, or Sully, are over here on coffee break. This is usual for these guys.
I don't have a topic. Cheers, bitches. We're discussing procedures.
There's my buddy Sully. Known this guy a long time.
This guy too.
Disgusting. Hey, Sean, how's it going?
What's up?
What's going on?
Enough of this. Let's see what Jason's got on to go with his rear end.
All right, guys. So we got the rear end all tore down. Few surprises. Well, somewhat surprises. We expected something. It actually has a 241-1 highway gear on it, which is definitely not what we want for a performance application. Really good if you're going cruising across the country, but not good for us. The right side outer bearing was bad, and was bad for quite some time. Unfortunately, didn't do anything good for our axle. So that's the race that it actually runs on right there. I don't know if you can focus in on that. Yep. It's a couple thou smaller, it's pitted. This is junk. So we'll be looking at new ones of those, probably new pinion gear setup, ring pinion. Like I said, we'll be looking at new axles and a new ring and pinion for our setup. Like I said, a lot of people will be like, why are you putting the money into a 10-bolt? But for all intents and purposes, it should do us just fine. That's about it for now. Everything's all cleaned up. It's almost knocked the races out of it. Should be ready for a coat of POR and a little paint. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. See you next time.
Rod here from the Bad Gas production crew. Thanks for tuning in this week. We really appreciate it. If you like our channel, give us a big thumbs up. Share with your friends. And if you got anything to say, chuck one in the comment section below, because we like to see what you guys want to see. If you're a subscriber, make sure to hit that notify bell so you're notified of any Bad Gas production new stuff. From me and the rest of the Bad Gas production crew, we want to make sure you put some miles on those rides. Put some love in your builds. And the main thing of all is have a bad gas time doing it. Ha ha!